A question that I get a lot, especially when I am running my one-on-one sessions. Shameless plug. Obviously, I have my starter kit. My starter kit is an online course that helps you start your clothing brand, especially if you're somebody that wants to start a brand but has no idea where to start. Now, one thing I am offering this year is with everybody that enrolls in the starter kit, you will also get a complimentary one-on-one session with me that you can literally cash in at any time throughout your journey, and I will be able to jump on a call with you and talk through what it is that you want in terms of starting your clothing brand. In addition to that, with the starter kit, you will also have on-demand chat access with me where you can ask any sort of question you want and I will do my absolute best to answer it. There is a lot of benefits which come with signing up to the starter kit. It's not just, you know, the extensive information that I have already provided in the starter kit. It's also access to me as a resource. So just a little shameless plug, I will have the starter kit linked in the description. So a common question that I get is, how do I deal with returns? Returns suck, and I know that it's definitely something that a lot of brands starting out are super scared of. But if you have a good quality product, your returns are gonna be like slim to none. Guys, in all honesty, I have not really had that many returns. One of my first returns was really during the really early stages of running my business, and it's because I didn't have an exceptionally good quality product and the zip fell off. And the way I dealt with that return was I was just like, keep it, I don't need it back, I believe you, and I will process your refund for you. Because what was I gonna do for a product with a broken zip? I didn't even ask for a picture because I knew my product, and you're gonna know your product. Obviously, if somebody reports a faulty product and you're like, that probably didn't happen, of course you can like ask for pictures or whatever, it's completely up to you. But if you actually have sent out a faulty product, you're not going to be able to resell it, one, so it's probably going to cost you more to actually ask the customer to send it back to you. So more often than not, it's probably like just better for you to process the refund and allow the customer to keep that product. So that's just a little bit of food for thought. I don't think I've introduced myself. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Teddy G, and on this channel I like to share my journey into building, growing, creating my clothing brand, as well as dropping tips, tricks, gems, and all of that good stuff when it comes to running a clothing brand. So if you're interested in that kind of content, definitely subscribe to my channel. I am on road to 25k, shortly followed by road to 100k by the end of this year. Amen. So firstly, when it comes to returns, you need to clearly define your returns policy. This is not something that you can decide like when you get your first return. It already needs to be written and somewhere where a customer can easily click and read your returns policy. So whatever your returns policy is. So you need to make sure that your returns policy is easy to understand, no like waffly, paragraphy nonsense, like bullet point it so that customers know exactly what your returns policy is. They don't have to like read in between the lines. You need to highlight the time frame. So if you're like, okay, if you're unhappy with your product, you need to return it within 14 days or 30 days. That's completely up to you. You just need to make sure you're highlighting that time frame, and you need to also make sure you're highlighting the conditions of the return. So I am of course gonna give you guys an example of a returns policy that you can literally take and apply to your business. So you can say, okay, I feel like for small business you want to keep that returns window short. The reason why I say this is because of cash flow mainly. So if you have a returns policy, you need to tell yourself that the money that you have earned from that product is not yours until you have cleared that returns time, if that makes sense. So to put that into context, Susie hops on your website and she purchases a dress for £20. £20 comes into your account or through your system in Shopify, whatever, Wix, whatever. So Susie receives dress on the 2nd of January. The £20 is already like in your business account or in your Shopify like account, whatever. But you need to tell yourself that £20 hasn't actually entered your business until the 14 days or the 30 days has cleared. So until the 16th of January. And that is why I was saying that you want to keep that window quite short so that you have a little bit better cash flow. Because the problem is when you're a small business and Susie comes along and purchases that dress for £20, that £20 comes into your account and then you spend it. If Susie comes along 10 days later and says, I want to return the dress, and returns the dress, you need to refund Susie £20. Now, if you don't have £20 because you've spent that £20, it becomes a problem. So that is why I'm saying that £20 is not yours until you have cleared that 14 days, and keep it at 14 days so that you're not like waiting, twiddling your thumbs for like 30 days wondering if Susie's gonna return the dress. So that's time frame, 14 days condition. So you want to make sure it's unworn and in its original packaging. The reason why you want it to be unworn is because obviously you want to be able to resell the item, and the reason why you want it in the original packaging is a couple of things. One cheeky thing is, I don't know, to make the returns process a little bit more difficult. I don't know. That is one of the reasons why you could also put that clause in. So if somebody has like opened their dress and thrown away the box, they can't return it, and that might reduce your returns. I don't know. Let's talk about it in the comments and see whether you think that's ethical. But another reason is, I don't know, something about retaining the original packaging just makes me think that that person is taking good care of this product and the returned product is gonna be a good return. I don't know. I feel like there's some sort of like logic behind that. And also, if you use like box packaging, for example, you could potentially reuse that packaging. Just saying. So yeah. Another point is the returns label needs to be paid for by the customer that wants to return the garment, unless of course it was a faulty garment. Then you should really pay for that return. So like in terms of Shopify, because I pay for shipping is included in whatever you purchase within the UK, I'm gonna need you to pay to return that item because I'm not losing out on shipping money twice. Like, it's no. So that is definitely a policy that you're gonna want to have. Adding on to that, depending on what you sell, do you accept returns on items that were on sale? This is something that you have to think about. Do you accept returns on swimwear? Maybe you're a swimwear brand, maybe you're an underwear brand. These are different things that you need to consider. Obviously, if you're an underwear brand, hygienically, really and truly, you shouldn't really be accepting returns. And if you like sell like earrings or stuff, again, hygiene, you probably shouldn't be accepting returns on things like that, in all honesty. Or maybe you are a digital product. I sell digital products on teddyg.co.uk, and because when you purchase a digital product, you have immediate access to it. So, you know, Susie could turn around, have your tech pack guide, and decide that she doesn't really want to pay for the tech pack guide and ask for a return, but she already has it. I have no control over that. I can't ask her to return the tech pack guide, if that makes sense. So having a returns thing on a digital product can be quite difficult. So that is definitely something that you have to take into consideration when it comes to digital products. Now, when writing your returns policy, you need to make sure it is somewhere where a customer can click. So on the home page, I would probably put it in our footer, and also on the checkout page, I'll probably have like a little link to it or a little drop down to it so that people know what the returns policy is. I know when I am shopping online, I definitely almost every time I look for what the return policy is on a particular item. Now, I am going to possibly create a part 2 to this video where I dive into setting up like returns on Shopify, because Shopify is my website of choice. But for this video, I just want to share with you different things to put into place to master returns. Now, a question that I have received again in my one-on-one session is, what do you do once you receive that return? So what I would do and what I do is I won't put that item back in stock. I would actually put that to like the bottom of my stock, but I'm gonna dive into the whole process in a second. So with returns, it's really important that you make the process as efficient efficient as possible, and you need to make sure that it's streamlined. Shopify now has something on there which allows customers to request a return if they have an account with your website. So I feel like that's really, really good, and that's really, really streamlined. All you have to do is pop in there and approve the return requests, and then you're able to either let them know that they have to purchase their own label or send them a label. Although on Shopify there is a system in place, if you're not using Shopify, you might not have that sort of system in place. So a customer may have to contact you in order to process a return. And this is where you need to be able to provide excellent customer service so that this customer comes back and you do not lose that person as a customer. So you need to be responsive, empathetic, and understanding. Okay, be apologetic. Somebody wants to return a t-shirt. I am so sorry you wasn't happy with the t-shirt, blah 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 blah. Make sure you are empathetic, understanding, and you're retaining those customers. I know when I had an issue with the zipper falling off, I know I didn't lose that customer. I might have, but it didn't leave a bad taste in his mouth because I was understanding. I was even embarrassed. Like, I processed that refund as quickly as I could. Now, once a customer has returned the item, it is crucial for you to inspect it as soon as possible. You want to look, if it's clothing, you want to look to see whether it smells, whether it has like roll-on marks on it. So if somebody's put it on and they put roll-on, whether it smells of perfume. Like, these are different cues to let you know whether or not it's been worn or not worn. And you need to assess this garment so that you can make sure that it's actually eligible according to your policy for this refund, for you to reimburse this customer. Now, if it's not, I don't actually know what happens if it's not eligible. You have to just send that item straight back to the customer. Granted, you're probably gonna lose out on money sending it back to the customer, but you're not gonna refund them, so I guess you keep that money. I don't know. Or maybe in your policy you can write something along the lines of, please ensure that your garment is eligible for a refund, otherwise you'll be charged for the return. Or one better, you could ensure that in the price that they are paying to return the item, you have incorporated the price it would cost for you to send that item straight back. As a business owner, we need to think about every single thing that could possibly happen during this returns process. Now, if you're not happy with the condition of the item, you don't necessarily have to just send it straight back, no communication with the customer. You actually will need to contact the customer and see whether you can come to a resolution that actually works for both of you, because at the end of the day, you don't really want to lose that customer. But if they're taking the piss, they're taking the piss. So yeah. I've seen what some brands do is they'll have that tag that goes all the way through the garment so that a customer can't wear it out, or they'll have the tag on the outside of the garment so a customer can't wear it out. Those are different things that you can put in place so that you're not stuck in a position where it's I know this customer's worn this, but how can I prove it? Do you know what I mean? So in terms of restocking that product that you've just received, don't restock it immediately. It's been in someone's house, you need to air it out and to make sure it's the last item that you pick when sending out similar items. So say they've sent back a small t-shirt, make sure you're putting that small at the bottom of your smalls, if that makes sense. Or maybe you're uncomfortable with reselling it, knowing that it's been in someone's home. You can probably have that particular piece discounted at a later date. Finally, when it comes to returns, it is really important to get feedback and analyze the reason for the return. So if the product arrived damaged, maybe you need to look into the shipping company you're using or the packaging that you're using, for example. If there's sizing issues, maybe you need to add a size chart to your website or edit your size chart. Maybe it's not as accurate as you thought it was. Or if the reason is it doesn't look like how it looked online, maybe you need to reassess the type of images that you're using to present this particular product online. So guys, I really hope that you have found this returns video helpful and you are able to move forward, master returns. It's not something that you're scared of. I have included some of my best top tips in this video, so please be sure to hit that like button, and if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to my channel because I post regular content twice weekly about all things starting your business. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my very next video. Bye.